are the most common mistakes that beginner badminton players make when serving, and it's completely ruining your chances of winning a point. So the first thing we have to do when it comes to service, I think, is the grip. How I like to think of it is the same as usual. You come in with your handshake grip, but your handshake grip usually is a little bit more neutral. But the problem with having a neutral grip in service is that like
it locks your wrist. Yeah.
Exactly. And a short service, that's good. We want very finger serve so that we have more control and we have more speed. So what we want to do is we go in from our handshake and then we shift just slightly, rotating our racket so our thumb can be on the flat part of the handle so that we can use our thumb to push forward. So using just our thumb, our racket should be coming back and forth without our arm moving at all. And you'll see by moving just my thumb, my racket will release and come forward, release and come forward. The second thing that we need to be covering is racket and bird position. One thing about a lot of players, and I think actually a lot of players do it differently. For example, some men's singles players like Kento Momota or Tofik, they like to serve from their side.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not a fan of that. I think the most effective serve, especially when you're playing doubles, is to stand as close to the net as forward as possible, right? Even if you're playing singles, it's getting ready and coming forward. So for me, my racket position is always in front. And my birdie position, one thing I learned is that you have to put your birdie position on the 45 of your racket. Because for this part, there's more tension on the strings here. So that way you have a more delicate touch. But the most important thing is keeping everything in front of you and the bird in front, facing the right angle. One mistake a lot of people make, including myself, I still do it sometimes because I have a bad habit, is you sometimes either over face up or you over face down, right? So my mistake when I like to serve is I face down a little bit too much.
Okay.
And what that sometimes does is when you hit it, because you're trying to hit up and your birdie is facing down, it's going to cause some spin, which creates inconsistency. So at the end of the day, if you want the most consistent serve, if you are serving this direction, then your birdie and your racket should both face this direction. And all they have to do is come back to the original position to have a good serve. The next common beginner mistake is foot positioning, not knowing where to position and how to position.
So when I serve, I always keep my right leg forward as I use my right hand to serve, keep my left hand forward to hold the shuttle, and then move slightly ahead so that my body weight is on my forward foot and it is easy for me to follow through.
One thing why this is important to keep on your forward foot with serving is one, you can get as close to the net as possible.
Yeah.
The second mistake that people like, so how Paul serves is actually, he leans on his back foot and he does this. But the downside of this as well is it's much harder to move forward than it is to move backwards. So if you're playing like this, then when you need to move forward,
you get it
can't move forward. Yeah. And actually, if you need to move backward, it's not easy to move backward either, right? Because you have to push off your right foot.
Yeah.
So either way, you lean forward, you move forward, or you lean forward and you move backwards, pushing off your right leg. So that's the advantage of having that foot position. The next mistake that a lot of beginners make, well, it's not a mistake, but the fact that they don't know this puts them at a disadvantage, and that's knowing which positions to serve to, right? Because a lot of beginner players, they probably think, okay, I'm just gonna serve wherever. It doesn't matter.
It should just cross the line and the net.
Yeah, but it matters a lot. So let's break down what the positions of the serve are. So I break it down into 4 at the front, 2 at the body, and 2 at the back. Okay. So 4 at the front obviously is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is, we have these 1 and 4 is our far shots. 2 and 3 are our close body transitioning shots, right? Our shoulder shot. The next, in the middle of the body, I sometimes like to hit faster body serves.
Like a flat serve.
A flat serve, which causes them to drive faster, right? And this is also 1, 2 towards the body. And then in the back, I feel it's not as important. As long as you hit to like either side or to the back, it's good enough. Yeah, so knowing your positions of serve can make a huge difference.
To learn more about where to serve, check out this video for a more in-depth tutorial.
The last mistake that beginner badminton players make is they don't drink shake cold brew tea.
Really?
Tea that powers up their badminton game in our affiliate link down below.
Make sure to check it out.
We need some money, so please buy it. It costs too much to run this channel. The real last mistake that beginner badminton players make, I think, is on their flick serve.
Some people don't have the correct position or don't have enough power in the wrist to make a proper flick serve.
Also, before we talk about the technical part, let's talk about the etiquette part. One thing I remember before, when I was training with like the Chinese provincial teams, every time I flick serve and they lose the point, they would get angry at me. They're like, why are you flick serving? I'm just like, what do you mean? It's part of the game. Did you have that before?
No.
Because I flick serve a lot. Because most of the times, like, especially when I was training, everyone's younger. They want to pretend to be pro and stand so close to the line.
Yeah.
But if you flick serve them, they can't even get it.
They get out of position so quickly.
And they get angry at me because I flick serve. So one thing is, if flick serves work, just flick serve. It doesn't matter if they complain. You're here to win. If you're not here to win, please stop watching this video right now and unsubscribe.
Oh, what if a lot of people unsubscribe? So first I get into position, keep my body weight forward, get into position correctly. As normal, I would start with a short serve and then flick at the last moment.
So one thing I think that's important to remember about this flick serve is that number one thing that people like to change a lot is they think that because they're serving harder and further to the back,
they change their action.
Yes. Instead of doing just this, like their normal wrist, they move it into, oh, I need to start using my whole arm and bring it like this. This causes inconsistency and it also generates less power.
Yeah, it also tells your opponent that you're going to make a flick serve when you change your action as much.
Right. But one thing that is important is something does change because it is different from the short serve, right?
Yeah.
One is your angle does need to come up more and you are generating more power. To generate more power, we definitely need to create a little bit more space than usual on our racket. But this can be done just using our fingers. Originally, our short serve might have been just this, but our flick serve would have been just this. So if you do a proper flick serve, you don't need to change that much. Just a little bit more room in your action on your fingers. Let's end this video off with a serve contest. We'll see whoever can serve one bird into the basket first. Okay, let's go. Whoever can serve in the basket first is the ultimate server and the master of this channel.
So if you get it in one strike, do I get a chance to compete?
Yeah, you have a chance to compete. Wait, my bird sucks.
No! Oh! That was a great effort.
That was a great effort. These birds are kind of bad too. What? You suck. Yours is off. Mine is just a little bit short.
My first one went pretty close.
That's in. What? No! Bruh. Okay, I'm getting it in. What? Oh my. Okay. Okay, game over. We're ending this video. Come here, Shourya. Have you seen our recent endings?
No.
They ended it with a very scary edit. So, come here. We're gonna stare at the screen and not move, and the editor's gonna do a scary edit.
No, I don't think I will.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.